401. This is your captain speaking along with LFA Moses Marquez.
Top of the fucking morning, 401, and we keeping it rocking.
Sounds weird calling out an episode number after 400.
Right? I mean, we didn't, there was a while where we didn't think we were going to get past 300.
we almost didn't.
We almost didn't.
But what a week last week. 400th episode celebration was great. And it was actually great to cut the 60-second podcast promo again. Haven't done that for years.
Trust me, it was fun. I will personally admit to rewatching last week's episode at least 3 times. At least 3, because it was fun. We had a lot of fun.
We did, and even though we didn't have like classic guests, we saw a couple of familiar faces and heard a couple of familiar voices in a fashion. So it was still a celebration. But we're now just a week away from Promo Series 7 Rise and Storm, which means we're also a week away from Survivor Series War Games.
Okay.
We'll get into that in just a sec. So before we begin, remember to like and sub to us on youtube.com/Max Wrestling. Did another good number this week. And follow us on social media at Max Wrestling UK.
All with it.
I don't think we broke the Facebook record this week, but we came pretty close.
Facebook seems to be mad consistent. Now, my focus is currently on YouTube. So as long as that number keeps growing, it's a dub for me.
Yeah. YouTube usually doesn't get much traffic. So to see that going up a little bit is nice. That's what we're focusing on.
They are finding a new platform to come check it out. I mean, it took them 400 episodes, but hey, that's okay. Think of the backlog. Think of the backlog they got to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And of course, classic Max Wrestling is coming soon in Max Wrestling Reloaded, which is basically old episodes recut, reproduced, re-edited, and reloaded.
Can't wait.
Let's jump into it. This week we're predicting Full Gear. Tony, you're trying to fucking kill us, dude.
11 motherfucking matches, dog. Like, we all don't do coke like you, homie. I mean, like, if maybe I was like 22 and didn't have a life no more, hey, maybe I jump on the train. I'm totally joking, but fuck, bro. Like, I get it. It's a Saturday night, but fuck. 11?
11 matches. It's going to be 5 fucking a.m. finishing time here again. Damn. I expect it from Double or Nothing because that's like their big show. But
I was gonna say, yeah.
This is just one of the AEW's other 4 pay-per-views. We don't need 11 fucking matches.
11. God damn.
I thought 9 was a lot before last night. Then they added the other 2. But Jesus, Tony.
And let me see. If I can count them. Let's see. This is how many matches are gonna get 12 plus minutes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see at least 2 of them should be squash matches.
7 I'm thinking 7 of those are going minimum 12 minutes. Minimum 12 minutes. Just doing all the entrances and all the hoopla. That's 20 plus minutes of time right there, bud. Per match. For 7 matches.
Worst part is math. None of these are on the buy-in either. These are all on the main show.
Dude, what is there to put on the buy-in? Besides Lance Archer and Ricky Starks, what else is there to put on the buy-in?
I mean, looking at this,
that should be our opportunity to get hammered drunk, okay? If you really want to make like a crowd happy, give us the opportunity to get drunk. Give us some drinking games during that first hour to get involved into this show. Don't give me more matches. I don't need 14, 15 matches.
Honestly, I would move Jarrett and Lethal versus Sting and Darby to the buy-in.
I hate to say it, but yep. I only hate to say it because I love Sting.
Yeah.
And Darby. That's it.
Darby.
And Jay. But everybody but Jeff.
Don't need to see a barn burner from Jeff Jarrett.
Oh.
Just let that be a quick tag match. And Jade and Nyla don't need a long match either. Just let Jade go in, slap her up, take a belt back, and go home.
Yeah, if this thing goes more than 5 minutes, I'm gonna be questioning somebody.
Tony,
what are you doing? Who in that is it? Because Kenny hasn't been there. Has Kenny not talked some sense into you? Well, Kenny's back, and God damn it, what the fuck are you doing?
So let's kick it off with one of those 2. Jarrett and Lethal versus Sting and Darby. Obviously, Jarrett's just been brought in as a wrestler / what is he, talent
He's a
development
producer
or
slash
something.
wrestler, or what was it? Hold on, wait, what was the terminology? I'm an actor slash whatever. No, it's the other way around. I forget what goddamn show that was from. Anyway, right off on tangents, but no, he's a fucking producer, but
Yeah,
he's doing this thing because he's Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, exactly. The fucking eye
ain't
roll
that
because
great?
because he's fucking like I don't know. It's annoying, but hopefully he gets his ass kicked. Hopefully he'll get a guitar shot back in his right in his face. I really don't see any other way that these guys fucking. There's no way Jeff Jarrett wins. Okay, if you're watching this right now, you're listening to this, you're shaking your fucking head. There's no goddamn way Jeff Jarrett wins, and if he does, hey,
I don't
like
want him to, but I can totally see him winning.
no, I do not. And by I mean the entire listening base and AEW following. We do not need a lengthy Jeff Jarrett television run of any sort in a tag team in a faction of no capacity.
I only say I see him winning just to, uh, what's the word? Elevate Jay Lethal.
I was gonna say, piss me the fuck off. Yeah, you got it,
That
bud.
too. But I mean, like Jay Lethal needs much more elevation. Everybody knows who Jay Lethal is.
Jay Lethal's awesome, but I mean, Jay Lethal needs something. So if Jay Lethal, okay, so let me reframe this. If Jay Lethal were to win, I would understand it. I would hate it. I mean, hopefully that would still mean that Jarrett's gone. Okay, hey, they're team one. Bye, see you later. Maybe you're in like a manager capacity at worst.
Yeah.
But I don't need to see him get a pin. I don't need to see him get a visual pin. I don't need to see the rep distracted and he get a fake 3 count. I don't need to see him covering nothing but his ass on the way out. That's all I need.
No, but you just know he's gonna pin Sting.
Fuck, why? Just why? There's no logical reason for it. Not a one. Not a one. And you can't make up one. Besides the fight to piss people off. And I mean,
and just to beat Jarrett's ego.
well, yeah. But that would also just feed right into that fucking narrative going on right now that this, all the fucking E marks are spinning the AEW thing now because of Jarrett. Oh, now they're just XTNA. Motherfucker, what? Have you looked at your roster? That's beside the point. But that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't need to add fuel to that fucking fire.
No.
Like I get it. I get it. I get it. And if he was fuck, if he was anybody the fuck else, bro. Who else is hated out there that we could probably give a fucking if that was motherfucking Marty Scurll, we could probably give that motherfucker a pass. Who, by the way, is working in AAA right now. So he's getting closer and closer and closer to coming back to the States. Get ready for it. He's gonna hit soon. I'm positive. I feel it. That's a tangent. But anyway, I don't there's nobody like I can't even I fucking hate Jeff Jarrett. I just don't there's
Right.
no logical reason for it. It just like I said, you could take any other hated wrestler right now. Any other one. EC3. Who else is fucking hated?
Ryback.
You go. Never mind. Add him to that list. You can't have him win shit.
Yeah, EC3 has lost his damn mind.
Fucking hey, dude. Like, what happened to that guy? But I mean, he's hated right now. Like, you could bring in fucking asshole Aries, and people would love him compared to Jeff Jarrett.
I don't know about that one.
Fuck, I'll bet dollars to donuts on that motherfucker right there, boy. I'm telling you, Jeff Jarrett. You have a poll right now. Who would you prefer to see every week? Austin Aries, Jeff Jarrett. And if Jeff Jarrett wins, I need to put this fucking microphone away.
It's funny how WWE sheep spin the whole XTNA thing when they got AJ Styles, who hasn't won a pay-per-view match in 3 years.
That stat made me so angry. So angry.
And he's been on TV most weeks. How has he not won a pay-per-view match in 3 years?
If Papa H don't see that article or see that bullshit and immediately make a motherfucking change, I lose some faith in him.
Has to.
Because, like, come on.
All right, so that's one for Jay and Jeff. and one for Sting and Mini Sting.
Oh my god, dude! If you shock the world, I swear to God,
I hope I'm wrong. Let me just put that out there.
I hope so too. But I hate to say that I see it now.
Let's go with the freeway for the TNT title. Wardlow is defending against Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. It's big sweaty men slapping meat.
That's right, big meaty men slapping meat for damn sure. In the words of Big E, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be fun. Because they're just gonna beat on each other. It's just that's it. They don't need to do anything more. But
Joe was fired up last night.
Yeah, he was. That was good. Joe missed that. Joe. That was like as he played it. He's like, because I had these interactions with a former manager named Paul, and I'm like, yep, that's exactly how I felt. You know what I mean? It's like just like that whole killer run on the main. I enjoyed this, but I'm not gonna say that I hate to say this. I'm going with the sneaky underdog, man. Something tells me it is time to feed Hobbs.
Ooh.
And if he were to beat Joe and Wardlow, again, you've got a guy who, let's go with Wardlow. Let me explain really fast how fast he got. He got huge for being MJF's right-hand man and just being the big buff guy. And then got super over as a babyface because he finally turned on MJF, forgot the ring was in his pocket. You know, that whole thing, which was still great. I still remember. He's like, oops.
That was very well done.
It was fantastic. It was extremely out of the fucking 80s. It was the best ever. But what they did is they had an opportunity to build a guy who was a rising star, who had momentum behind him, and they turned around and said, boom, pass that momentum to this guy. Well, this guy's already up here. Wardlow's, I would not going to be to the MJF level, but Wardlow is up. He is up. He's popular. He's beloved, if you will. Joe's Joe. There's nothing we can change about Joe. I mean, he's going to be liked or loved, but he's Joe. Now's your chance to build somebody. And we've been growing towards Powerhouse Hobbs from his feud from Ricky Starks. And then I love the idea of, even if it's a short reign, I know people give me shit. People give everybody shit. Oh, short title reigns don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing. In an instance like this, it could mean a lot. If the situation works itself out, a 2-month title reign will be a perfect move because you have it long enough to make an impact and then pass the buck. Give it right back to Wardlow. Give it to Joe. Give it a fucking goddamn somebody coming back. You know what I mean? Give it to Roosh. You know, something. You know what I mean? Spread it out for fuck's sake. But I'm probably gonna end up being wrong, but I am leaning heavily towards Powerhouse Hobbs.
I don't remember an end to Hobbs and Ricky's feud. I remember Hobbs squashing him, and then they kind of forgot about it.
It's because Ricky got hurt.
Yeah,
that neck problem.
Kind of tells me there's unfinished business between those two now. Whether Ricky comes back for him for the TNT title or costs him the TNT title, I don't know. But something tells me Wardlow's keeping it.
I mean, I could absolutely see that as well. The guy's on fire. There's no real reason to take it off of him. I'd love to look at it and say, what can we build out of this? How can you make a star? Because that is the idea of this company. Yes, we are overloaded with rostered, you know, with experienced talent. What do we got for young talent? We got Wardlow, we got MJF, we got this, we got that. Why don't you add a Hobbs? Why don't you add a this guy, a that guy, a that guy? Start to build your roster as you're supposed to. So, I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. But I could absolutely see Wardlow keeping it. Absolutely.
I was just counting how many ex-WWE guys are on the card. There's 9 out of how many people are wrestling tomorrow night?
That's
1,
it?
2. That's it. 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, sorry, 10.
Oh, you adding Billy Gunn last second? I was like, is that what the 10 is? Are you adding Billy Gunn last second?
11. I was adding Swerve and Our Glory. So there's 11.
Okay.
Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Jay Lethal never again. WWE. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 non-WWE guys. So suck it. All right. So one for Wardlow, one for Hobbs.
Interesting. I'm loving this dynamic
We're
already.
split from the beginning. Um, well, let's stay on that topic then, because Ricky's obviously up against Lance on Rampage tomorrow. Winner faces Ethan Page in the tournament final for the world title match at Winter is Coming.
Hmm.
Now we talked about last week how it's kind of irrelevant because whoever it is going to be against MJF, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not winning.
No.
That's a spoiler for who we're predicting for the main event, by the way. But
Like, I hate to break it to you, sorry. But it's the truth. This is you're not gonna do this and then turn around and uncrown MJF right after crowning him. It's just not gonna happen. If by some weird bullshit way he doesn't win, and yeah, I say it like that because this is we're in Hangman territory. You shit or
yeah,
get off the pot. There is no more fucking around. This is the time. So MJF will, and I'm already giving away my guess for the fucking final whatever. But MJF will win the world title. But the question that I've brought to TikTok is he gonna is he inevitably gonna end up a face?
oh,
You know what I mean?
I think that was such a babyface promo last night. There's no denying that one.
Teddy P is undeniably there's no way he can budge. He's not budging. He's like, I don't give a shit what he does. He will never be a face. And I'm just like, but circumstances it doesn't matter. And we had an excellent argument. I really wish we recorded it because it was a lot of fun. But now I'm bringing that to TikTok. You know what I mean? I want that argument to stem. I want to see who feels the same way. Can this guy, is he going to end up being a face or is he swerving us yet again? But
Well, I
I'm
mean,
jumping ahead.
I don't think he's ever going to be a babyface in the traditional sense of, say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Thank you. That's exactly
But
what I said.
at best, he'll be a lovable prick.
1,000,000%, because that's the reality. It's we the 2022 wrestling fan, soon to be 2023 wrestling fan, has changed the narrative of what the fucking face and heel dynamic are. If we don't like you, you're a heel. Maybe that's not to the term. I'm sure there's some wrestling buffs out there slapping their head on. You guys are missing the concept. We are and we're not. We're able to, I guess, adjust the narrative to enjoy the product.
Yeah.
And yes, we love the lovable, hateable prick. You remember when Stone Cold was hated like a motherfucker for beating up his boss, but we could relate to that, so we fell in love with him? Hey, what a concept. You know, there's rhymes to the reasons. There's reasons to the rhymes. So it makes fucking sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no, I could absolutely see him swerve us, but there's no way it's a one night thing. He'll drag the fucking baby face fucking rope for months and months and months, for not months and months, for like weeks and weeks, and then it's time to show that you're a baby face in front of everybody. Go save this guy, stomps him out just to be a dick. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, you tricked us, you motherfucker, and that's it. But after Saturday night, he will inevitably be the biggest face in all of AEW, if not professional wrestling.
I think MJF understands what CM Punk understood many, many moons ago, where as much fun as it is being a heel, once you get to that peak level of popularity, it makes more sense to be face because it means more money.
Means bread, that big dollar bills.
So with that aside, I can't believe it's taken me this long to think of this, but surely it's going to be Ethan Page that wins and then faces MJF after the whole breakdown with the firm.
I mean, I believe it was last week. I said it was going to be Bandito. Who's going to put on a really good match and da. Well, they told me to fuck right off because I was just like, and then truth be told, I felt like they did Bandito a little dirty. You know what I mean? I was like, he looked really good, and then all of a sudden just died, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute. But then again, you got to kind of make Ethan look strong, and I'm hoping Ethan is going to have to just go through Ricky, which should be easy. I don't want to, because again, we've discussed, we don't need to see Archer lose anymore, and especially not the MJF.
Not in a big match.
If I'm not mistaken, Ethan and MJF have a history. They've worked I want to say MLW together. Maybe
Sounds
elsewhere.
Right.
But, because I don't believe he had an Impact run at all. MJF.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's got to be MLW. Is the only other place I could. Otherwise, it's going to be an indie, one of those obscure indies. But I'm sure they have some form of chemistry with each other, some past chemistry. They are super young, they are around the same age. Well, no, Ethan's a few years older. But I think this is Ethan's chance to get a nice good push, a nice good spotlight. Hey, come look at me. And then, hey, oh shit, I lost MJ.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because it ties in with the firm. Which is something that just now hit. As I'm sure, like, some of them are like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, this is what happens. Things don't click sometimes, but when it does, it clicks just fine. And that's one great way to close that chapter. Or we finally just, is he finally away from them? Is he, because it looked like he was kind of siding with them. You know what I mean? Super babyface promo. He let them beat the shit out of John Moxley and then came to, to his aid well after they beat his ass.
Oh yeah.
Even though John didn't sell it.
One match I can find between Ethan Page and MJF is a dog collar match from Alpha One back
Oh
in
my goodness
2019.
gracious.
They've also wrestled each other at WrestleCon.
You don't just have a goddamn dog collar match. You have to have some fucking history.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But we'll look more into that again. So that's 2 for Ethan. 2 for.
Ooh, baby.
What else we got? Let's go. Obviously, there's 3 women's matches on the show, and like I said, this is the one I want to just be over and done with quickly. Jade versus Nyla Rose for the TBS title. Nyla Rose has been holding the TBS title hostage for several weeks.
Such a WCW storyline.
Yeah. Jade is still undefeated, so
she's not at 50 yet.
No, and that's another reason why this should just be a simple case of Jade, come back, get your belt, go home.
I don't see why again, we go back to logic. We book with logic. That's what TK's, brain process normally goes with. There's zero reason to crown Nyla Rose. Not a one. This is just an opportunity for her to beat somebody with more recognition. And that's helpful because I'm not going to say Jade has beat a lot of nobodies, but she's beat a lot of, lower end stars.
They was handpicked.
I mean, hey, that's how the wrestling business works, baby. I've said it for months. I've said the only person who should really beat her is an upper echelon person. My original guess was like a Britt Baker because they are both like excellent talkers. So if you have them going at it, build up to something like that, and then bam, she's TBS champ because Jade finally lost to, an excellent competitor, know. I think that would work, but that excellent competitor is not Nyla Rose. Sorry.
No. And from what we've seen of Nyla like holding the title hostage, TBS title doesn't really suit Nyla.
Nah. No, it doesn't. It does, but I was gonna say, but then again, now they did the original AEW women's title, so.
Oh, that thing was tiny.
Thing was hilarious. Built for Riho, that was it.
It really was. But yeah, it makes no sense to take the title off Jade, like literally take the title away from Jade at the peak of her popularity. She's over. I don't want to say over as fuck, but she's earned a lot of people's respect.
Yes, she went from being, oh my god, you're on my television. Oh, she's green as shit. Oh, this and that and this. To, oh, have you seen anything about Jade? Oh, Jade's for real. Oh, Jade can really this and she can this and she can that. Absolutely. Again, if you turn back the time, you go back to previous episodes. I mean, I want to say, call it a year ago, I was still giving her crap.
Yeah.
And she is beyond earned my respect. You know what I mean? She went from the one trick pony of having, the look to being able to fully talk at a great level. She's got cool catchphrases, telling Tony to cut the shit. She's worked better than we've expected, and she's grown and adapted.
Yeah, and she definitely has that presence and that look of a superstar.
Big time. She is definitely in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Moving on to I know you'll be excited about this one. Announced last night. One of the two matches added 6-man tag for the World Trios titles. Death Triangle defending against the original champs, returning the Elite.
That's right. The Elite is back. For those who can't tell, that's Kenny God by God Omega right there. So yes, I'm crazy excited. I mean, as we've said, it's not like they haven't fucking been telling you that they're coming back. They're coming back. We had week after week after week of them randomly destroying evidence that the Bucks were ever there. That was never going to happen. There was rumors of a copyright of them copywriting the term "the Wayward Sons" and then not copywriting it because it sounds stupid. And I'm like, thank God somebody talked some sense into them. But this is great. This is oh my God, this is gonna be a fucking insane match. This shit's gonna be insane. Now, before I pick my obvious winner, does this mean Malachi makes an appearance and the fucking and the House of Black all of a sudden?
I mean, they've been teasing their return too.
I'm just saying. I mean, it would be the perfect time to make a return. You could cost Death Triangle the titles, and it wouldn't hurt the Elite. You'd make them, fucking arrogant pricks a little more on their debut return, if you will, which is hilarious. But I think they need to be featured somehow, some way. I do. If Malachi is really coming back, and the House of Black is still a thing, they need to make an appearance on Saturday during this match.
Yeah.
But it's the Elite all the way. You don't bring them back to lose, and that's just that. You don't bring them back to lose. If these motherfuckers would have debuted, I would have said, cool, they can lose.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's like, why do they have to win? Why? But you're returning, so you kind of have to. You were meant to be the Originals Trios champions in the first place, blah, 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 blah. But then again, fucking Death Triangle's on fire. That's why I would say, like, if they debuted, like, last week, oh, well, fuck it, they can lose. I don't give a shit. But the anticipation's too hot.
Yeah. And if you can't tell, that's the goddamn Undertaker right there, but he's not on the show.
That's right.
There has been a little bit of tension with Pac and specifically Ray, so I can see something going wrong there. But yeah, the main point is the Elite were the original champions. The whole shit happened with All Out Fallout. And they were stripped of the titles. The interesting thing is that Death Triangle were crowned Trios champions, not interim Trios champions.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it was just a speed bump, I don't see why the titles shouldn't go back to the Elite, even if it's just to prove a point. Like, hey, we're innocent.
Yeah, right. We did no harm. We promise.
We did nothing.
But no, yeah, I'm glad that they didn't get an interim thing. You know what I mean? That was, but then it made sense. At the time, TK was like, "Hey, look, I have to be the boss all of a sudden and put a kaput to this." So they were just bam, wipe it from history kind of mode, which in a way is a little 12-year-old ish. You know what I mean? Like I had never existed. I mean,
it's very Vincey.
Very Vincey, yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. We've moved on. I think we'll find out if and when they say that they're the new 2-time Trios champions.
Yeah, I think everybody's moved on. Even Punk's moved on. He's doing his MMA commentary again.
I saw that. I guess good for him.
Yeah, he seems happy with it. Everybody seems happy with moving on. So we'll move on. And we'll move on to a steel cage match between Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That's his official ring name now. He's not just Jungle Boy. It's Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I don't know if that's because JR couldn't stop saying them both, or if that was just their way of building it so it would, it would eventually be, him and this is Jack Perry going to, the whole him and Christian thing.
I would have loved to have heard the conversation like, Jim, it's just Jungle Boy. Well, I work for Stone Cold Steve Austin, damn it.
That was probably
we'll go with Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
That is exactly the argument he used. I'm fucking positive of it.
But then you've got
positive of it.
Then you've got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. That's her ring name. She's not just Britt Baker.
Nope. Full-blown DMD. It says it right here on Wikipedia, for fuck's sake.
Right.
Because it's official, damn it. She has a doctorate in medical dentistry.
Yeah, she is a legit dentist, unlike Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Right.
I want to say Jungle Boy because storyline wise, it makes the most sense for him to, get his revenge against the ex best friend that betrayed him. But at the same time, look at the difference between them. And they're going to be trapped in a cage. Like, there's no diving off a stage or anything like that.
Yeah, but that also means there's no Christian, which is huge for Luchasaurus. And here's the other thing that nobody's talking about that should be brought to the attention to the masses. Luchasaurus is working hurt.
I think he's always working hurt.
But I mean, I guess it's another one of these bad injuries where it's like I think he's going to end up taking a hiatus for a little bit just to recover. And
surely, maybe Christian's close to recovery now.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I was hearing he's not going to be ready until the next year, at least until 2023. But then again, motherfuckers heal fast. We'll see where it goes. Personally, I'm leaning right towards Jungle Boy. I think this is an opportunity for him to look strong against a bigger opponent I wouldn't say in a disadvantage, but in a big match. Anytime you do a steel cage, it's a big match. I don't give a shit if it's on a fucking weekly show or at a pay-per-view. It's a big match. And this is going to be a nice big win. Is it going to catapult him into the range of like the TNT title? Maybe. But I mean, this is one of those things where it's let's get this match over with and let's get you moved on because you have lost so much momentum. So much momentum in this fucking feud. I love the story. Don't get me wrong. Best friends against each other, all thanks to Christian being an asshole. It's great. It's great. But it's also gone on for like 4 months. And I really don't need something to drag on that long if it's not going to end in like a world title thing. You know what I mean? Because the only other exception we had was the 2-year Hangman thing with him and Kenny.
Yeah, and I mean, that was very beautifully paced. The problem here is, of course, Christian got injured and that really damaged the momentum of the feud. Yeah. And I think maybe that's why they turned Luchasaurus heel, just to keep the feud kind of going until Christian can heal up, because that's the main fight in this feud, Christian and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, well, yeah, after you talk about your dead, I don't want to be your dad. Your dad's dead. Oh, yeah, well, fuck yeah, that feud is never going to end now, baby.
I mean, they could have kept the momentum now with Christian just keep cutting awful, evil promos on Jungle Boy and his family, but he's kind of tamed a little bit too. So
I'm sure he's sick of it as well. Can I stop talking shit about his mom? TK, no, you go out there, you talk shit on his mom.
I don't think we even got one match between Christian and Jungle Boy. We were supposed to, and that's when Christian was injured.
We did. Well, technically, we got that one match.
Yeah.
They still did the match, even though the guy was in a fucking sling.
Yeah,
he did nothing and still got the pin like an asshole.
Yeah, we didn't really get the full vigor of the match, so I think we're owed a full-on match between Christian and Jungle Boy, both at 100%. So, you say Christian probably won't get involved, but I mean the cage has been unable to stop people in the past. I still say Jungle Boy wins somehow, like a plan backfires or something, and eventually we're going to get Christian and Jungle Boy again.
Absolutely. That is probably going to be Christian Cage's very first match when he comes back.
Yeah, makes most sense. Let's do tag team titles matches. Just know I was shorthanding as I was typing, moving on to the next match. So when I was going to put Jungle Boy under your list, I just put Joy.
Joy, nice. I'd say, goddamn, how many names does Jungle Boy have? Jesus Christ.
Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Joy.
Nice.
The Acclaimed defending the World Tag Team titles against Swerve in Our Glory. Does it make any sense at all to just drop the titles back to Swerve in Our Glory, especially when the Acclaimed are the most over fucking tag team next to FTR?
The only reason I would give is so they don't have to lose to FTR, but that's not a good enough reason for me.
No, I mean, I just want to see them wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not I can't do it. But then again, we've known that there is tension between Swerve and Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So it can finally come to a head. And at the same time, Billy Gunn has been a nice little factor, beating up people right before the matches and shit, even though with his goddamn taped up hands. So
Can't believe how over Billy Gunn is in 2022.
it's the fucking sheer audacity. Again, I went from hating the shit out of this guy in fucking 1996 to he is literally the most over manager right now in all of AEW.
Yeah.
If not all of pro wrestling. Because I don't know of any other managers that are as over as he is right now. Not a one. Maybe Paul Heyman.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a maybe. So he's the fucking man. There's no way these guys lose. There's just none. I mean, them losing to FTR is gonna suck because people love the Acclaimed, but that is the inevitable route. You're gonna have to lose to the big dogs, FTR.
I think people will be more accepting of FTR taking the titles from the Acclaimed, and they're gonna have a good match, and they're gonna handshake after or scissor after the match.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. Oh yeah, I can already see it now. Dax is gonna put his hand out, and Max is gonna be like, "Eh, come on, bud, join the faction."
Or just Cash on the mic. They stare down each other after winning the belts, and Cash is like, "I just got one thing to say: scissor me, daddy ass."
I could totally see that happening. 1,000,000% see that happening.
Or knowing Cash will be fucking scissor me, daddy ass.
Let's go. I'm down.
Okay, so that's 2 for the Acclaimed. I hate using the I word, but interim AEW women's title, Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
Another topic I brought to TikTok. Can we drop the fucking interim already? And we said last week yes, and everybody else agrees. Drop that shit.
There's no sign of Thunder Rosa coming back anytime soon. Stop with the interim.
We ain't heard her name in months. Not even heard her name. That's what I'm talking about.
We heard CM Punk's name more recently than Thunder Rosa's.
Exactly. And he was outed by the goddamn company. They're buying his ass out.
And we've talked about this match for the past couple of weeks and how difficult it is for us as fans, because again, Toni Storm, super over, doing a hell of a job as women's champion, but it's Jamie's time, and I wish they could both be champion.
Yeah, exactly. You have a hot champion who's liked, who's loved, who we wouldn't mind seeing continue on. But then you got what we call a meteor coming your way. Hot, heavy, on fire. People like her. Jamie Hayter. And, people have liked her for a while. They've wanted more for her for a while. I really want to say this is her opportunity. But I'm with you 1,000. You could flip a coin, and whoever comes out the winner, I don't think you're going to get backlash.
No.
I really don't. I think people are going to be upset if Jamie were not to win, but I don't think they're going to riot. I don't think they're going to, oh my God, this is terrible booking and this and that. It's going to be one of those things where she's a super hot challenger, but Toni Storm is the end all be all. But then leading with that, you got to drop this fucking interim name. If Toni wins, regardless of whoever wins, this interim thing needs to go away. But that's how you would stabilize Toni a little bit more. She ends up beating Jamie Hayter. Next Wednesday, you come in and maybe it's Tony Khan, maybe it's Shivani, whoever, and just say, we're finally getting rid of the interim title. You are the AEW Women's Champion. It's a nice little extra rub to help somebody out. However, though, I'm super leaning towards Jamie because that's my pick. As much as I know Toni Storm is hot and I know she's loved and I know people are more than willing to take that fucking running bump with her ass. Trust me, I'm one of them. I'll gladly get in line. Like I say, Jamie Hayter's a meteor, man. And you can't deny meteors in professional wrestling because they are what we call heat magnets, because that's what meteors are. They carry lots of heat as they go through the fucking atmosphere. Yeah. And that means attention. And attention means fans, and fans means money, and it all trickles down like a domino effect. So I'm going with Jamie, but as I've always said, I will not be surprised if she doesn't win.
All right. Now, Uh, this is gonna get a little complicated. So
Mm.
I'm gonna go
It's
with
hella
Jamie.
complicated.
I'm gonna go with Jamie Hayter because I think it's one of those lightning in a bottle moments where she has that super amount of momentum right now. She's not gonna have that same amount of momentum like next month if she loses this match. But if she wins the title, and we're gonna talk about the other women's match in a minute. After the last night, Britt Baker cut also a babyface-ish promo. It was very sympathetic of her.
Awesome.
So if that's the way this match is going to go with Saraya, and they kind of not necessarily double turn, but we see a more babyface side of Britt Baker, the best way for her to get the heat back after that is by jumping Jamie after the match, like congratulate her on a win, but then you're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your time yet. It's still my time. Boom.
Exactly. The way you take that heat that is Jamie's winning and you burn that fire blue hot as you turn Britt Baker on her. Because that's the thing. And I've said that for weeks now. You really want a great women's feud. You take the leader of this supposed faction and you take what was the middleman that had issues and you fucking feud them together because now this middleman is now your AEW Women's Champion. Something you couldn't do. You couldn't beat, Tony Storm, which I don't think they had a match, should be told. So, but it's like you're not champ. She is, and then immediately inner turmoil, and then that's one of those ones where I would not be surprised if Jamie loses quickly. You know what I mean? It's to Britt Baker. Britt Baker's another one who's undeniable. You kind of have to give her the crown, or it's again actually more of a same situation scenario. Do you give Britt the crown because she's so hot and undeniable, or do you keep it on Jamie Hayter because we just crowned her and she's still hot? You know what I mean? It'd be one of those scenarios. But either way, it'll be an excellent feud because it's been building for a while.
Yeah. And yeah, you don't want to take it off Jamie very quickly if she does win because we're going to be taking it off Tony Storm relatively quickly. She's still hot on her run.
I think she's still hot on a run because people were so sick of the Thunder Rosa run. And
True.
and I'm not saying and that's not meant to be a negative, not meant to be a negative thing. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just it's one of those where it was. We wanted Tony to win a fucking WWE Women's Championship. That's how the level she was as over as she was when she was there. And now that she's here, it's like, yeah, she's champ. She's all the champ. She's got the looks. She's got the mic skills. She's got the work ethic. She's hot. I already said the looks, but you know what I mean? You could just chalk it all up. You know what I mean? She equals money. She equals money. But then again, like I say, there's the momentum thing. Do you change the moneymaker for the momentum, hoping that moneymaker continues to work? You know what I mean? We'll see, but it's going to be an awesome few like 6-7 months for the women's division coming up.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to Britt and Saraya in a minute, but let's go to the Ring of Honor World Title because I don't know who the hell to go for. Jericho defending against Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara, Senor Panda Man. Claudio got the most clearest. I'm way better than you last night on Jericho. However, we know how that goes in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
You never, ever, I have never seen in my not 30 years, Jesus Christ, 25 plus years. I was about to say, God damn, I'm old. I'm not that old. In my 25 plus years of watching wrestling, I don't think I've ever really seen somebody win on like a Monday and then turn around and win on a Sunday. I don't think I've ever seen it. And if I have, somebody please tell us, please, because I'm drawing blanks right now. But with that being said, I really don't think Jericho keeps it.
No, he's losing to somebody.
I don't think it's Sammy either. And that leaves one option left, and that's the guy we've been saying you need to fucking do something with, and I don't care if it's this fucking title or if you fucking make one up. At this point, I don't care. Like something needs to be given to B-Dry. It needs to fucking happen. And this is a perfect opportunity to give him back a title that he helped establish, This is a title that he can defend his way because he's an honorable guy and he's going to go in there and put on bangers with everybody and then shake their hand afterwards, as the Ring of Honor World Champion would do. And it just moves on. Jericho can do whatever Jericho wants to do. Maybe this is where Danny Garcia decides, I want to be a pro wrestler after all, and helps, B-Dry beat Chris Jericho. That's an option as well. That's a curveball nobody's thinking about. Well, at least I'm sure half of the world out there ain't thinking about it, because the reality is if you look at it, Danny Garcia still looks very on the fence. As much as he's decided he wants to be a professional wrestler, a sports entertainer, excuse me, he still gives B-Dry that look like, I think I kind of still want to do that. So, I mean, it's the fumes are, the fire's there, the fire's been built. Somebody needs to light the match. I think it can be lit, but either way, I'm leaning towards Bryan Danielson finally winning a fucking title in AEW, even though it's the Ring of Honor title.
Yeah. Absolutely. B-Dry is the 5th longest reigning Ring of Honor World Champion in history. He was 4th until 2 years ago. Roosh was the first one to beat his reign.
Goddamn boy, Roosh.
Wait, sorry.
Was it Roosh or was it?
He was the first one since Nigel McGuinness to beat his reign.
Jesus Christ. Nigel had a crazy long run.
Oh yeah, 545 days. B-Dry was 462. Roosh is 498.
Nice.
So yeah, it would be great for B-Dry to become a 2-time champion after, God, how long's it been? 17 years.
I was gonna say it's been
since he won the world title in Ring of Honor. That's nuts.
Against Nigel, right?
I think he beat Nigel. Yeah.
Sounds right.
2005. Oh, James Gibson.
Okay.
Oh, wait. James. What the fuck? Let's take a look at the pay-per-view. Glory by Honor 4. Because it does say Nigel McGuinness was in the match. Where are we? 2005. Oh, you're not going to give me the whole card? Okay, well, fuck you then.
Well, go fuck yourself.
So, James Gibson was the champion. And then B-Dry unified the title with the Pure Championship by defeating Nigel McGuinness. So I don't know what happened to James Gibson. If somebody else, a.k.a. Jamie Noble, if somebody else is more accustomed to Ring of Honor history, then please fill us in.
Por favor.
Because, yeah, that don't make no sense, Wikipedia.
Nope, you've lost me.
So, yeah, Claudio was the obvious choice up until last night, but like you said, that old wrestling tradition, if you look strong on the go home, you're not going to win at the pay-per-view.
Nope.
I don't see Sammy winning it because he's too close to Jericho.
Yeah.
And I definitely see Jericho losing it, so it has to be B-Dry.
I mean, if he keeps it, where does he go? That's my question. It's like, can he keep a momentum enough to maintain that title for I'm the Ocho? How many more fucking Ring of Honor champions can you fucking go after? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's time. I feel like this is a great opportunity, and it just works all in everybody's favor. You know what I mean? It's everything goes hand in hand. You got a champion, and we got a guy we've been needing to give a real push to, a championship title push to. Bam, there you go. Fucking Jericho's probably getting ready to go on tour or some bullshit. Bam, there you go. That's the other thing I never think about, is when he decides he wants to randomly go on tour.
Yeah. Or jump on the Masked Singer.
Oh, yeah, that fucker. I knew day one that son of a bitch. Oh, that's Chris Jericho. My wife's like, how do you know? I said,
there is nobody with a voice like Chris Jericho, because he's not the strongest singer, but his voice suits his style. So when he sings something that isn't his style, then that's just Jericho speaking in rhythm.
Yep, exactly. It just gives it away. But my wife looks at me, because she watched The Masked Singer religiously, and looks at me dead in the face like, but how do you know? I said, I've been listening to that motherfucker talk for 25 years. And she's like, you're joking. I said, he was on WCW when I was a kid. I've been listening. I fucking kid you. 25 fucking years I've been listening to that son of a bitch. 25 years since like 97, 98. So yeah, it's hard to fucking, but no, I would listening to him sing, and like if he could get into his Fozzy mode, he sounded like Fozzy, and you could kind of be like, oh well, maybe that was somebody else. But then he had his moments where exactly he was just Jericho in rhythm, and I'm like, can you not? Can you not be on TV on Fox television right now? 2 days before SmackDown.
Um, if Jericho was to retain, I think the most likely and biggest former Ring of Honor champion he could face would be Adam Cole.
Yeah.
But we don't know if Adam Cole's
Oh
ready to
wow.
come back yet. Of course, he got concussed back at Forbidden Door back in June, and we haven't
Yeah,
really
there
seen him since the before the trios tournament really kicked off.
there was a lot of speculation going around that his concussion was very bad, and there was like a possibility that it was one of those ones where they were like looking at him like Edge and B dry and time to take like a 7-year break, dude. Gotta let your brain heal. You've been beating the shit out of yourself. That was the last I heard of that, but that was also like a month ago. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I haven't heard much since. I'm hoping he comes back soon. That would be excellent. Um, but until then, I don't know. But yeah, no, that's an excellent guy. If Jericho were to retain, yeah, that'd be a great guy to lose to. Is turn around and to lose to Adam Cole, who would be the only 4-time Ring of Honor champion.
yeah. All right, so that's two for Danielson. Let's go to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Saraya.
Going
They've
back and
been
forth with Teddy on this one.
Yeah, and Britt's promo last night very much addressed the same things you did last week when you took issues with what Saraya said.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was fucking cheering Brett on. Are you kidding me? I was cheering Brett on last night. I was just like, you fucking tell her, girl. Tell this bitch. You know, and but like again, she's gone on and said, she meant to say Sumo Hall, not Tokyo Dome. Good for her. I get it. You wrestled in Japan. We understand. You know, but that was I took a lot of, I guess, passion, or if you will, for that fucking promo that Britt cut last night, because it's the truth. You know what I mean? She's like, that's great. You made your name, here and doing that. She's like, I made it in Daly's place with, fucking 400 people during the pandemic when we're not supposed to wrestle around people. We're not supposed to have people here. I made my name on a ship when people were watching, from afar. She put her in her place, and it made me think that's a great way for Britt to win. But then you got the old fashioned, does that work as a booking move? Can Saraya really lose in her debut and it not hurt her? I don't know anybody who can truly lose in their debut and it not be a big deal. Really trying to think of somebody who's lost in their debut. It wasn't a big deal. I can't think of one because they've all gone away after losing. So yeah, I mean, if I'm sticking with that logic, Saraya has to win, but it's going to absolutely be a fucking bloodbath of a brawl, because you already know Britt's going to put everything she has into it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, her losing will absolutely fuel that fire to go beat up fucking Jamie Hayter if she were to win. So
Yeah.
I really like that now, because you spun that narrative. I like that. I'll go with Saraya winning, but it's going to be. I'm going to laugh my ass off. This is the only goddamn match Saraya is going to get out. She's going to get in there. She's going to get her ass beat by Britt because Britt wants to prove a point. And then, all right, bye. That was my only one. See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Goddamn fly make a fucking podcast, motherfucker.
um, Britt loses nothing by losing the match. She's still going to
Excellent.
have that momentum. She's still going to have that fuel for the fire to turn on Jamie and regain her heat.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of hot references there. But also, like you said, it's Saraya's not only her debut, but her first match in 5 years
Yes, 5 years.
since getting cleared from what we thought was career-ending injury.
Yeah.
So, and she's had multiple surgeries to get back to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't see any booking decision on the planet where it makes sense for Saraya to come back after all this time and everything she's been through just to lose.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got Britt, who, as much as people want to say she hogs the spotlight, has put people over.
You know what? I'm glad that you say that because she does hog the spotlight because she's unfucking deniable. She is quite literally the most over woman, if not the most over wrestler in AEW right now. There's not a fan in the stands that doesn't say DMD along with her. I
Mm-hmm.
remember saying it in the bathroom in the LA Forum because it was just I can hear it. DMD. Okay. It's just that's she has garnered that much attention and respect. So, but yeah, no, I'm with you. You can't, it's a terrible booking decision. You can't come back after a 5-year hiatus and a career ending injury to lose, but it's just, Britt has garnered so much motherfucking respect. So much because it's because we got to see her grow.
Yeah, she wasn't pushed straight into title.
No, because but that's the thing. That's why I think we have such a great connection with her. Why the AEW fans have such an incredible connection with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for that exact reason, because we've seen her grow. We've seen stages 1, aka Adam Curl's girlfriend, to right here, right now, of I will gladly take a Britt Baker shirt into 2X. Thank you. And I'm not
Yeah.
joking. I swear to God, if they're not on the fucking truck in the LA Forum, I'm rioting. I will push that truck over myself if I need some help.
Controversial topic, possibly for TikTok, but for me, Britt Baker is what Charlotte Flair should have been.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that. Oh, I
she's
love that.
you could make a point that she's one of the best wrestlers in her division,
Oh, yeah.
and she is constantly in the spotlight. But is she always winning? Is she a multiple time women's champion? No, she's only won it once.
She's only won it once, but she's out there helping garner attention. She uses her name to elevate somebody. She was willing to. I mean, she lost to fucking Thunder Rosa, for fuck's sake. Clean as shit.
Yeah, and they were not getting along.
No, exactly. During a time where everybody was hating on Thunder Rosa. Yeah, exactly. When there was a fucking heated time. And she's been professional. Oh, but she's only been in the business for 3 years. Okay, so then why is it that somebody who's only been in for 3 years can act more professional than others?
Hmm.
You ever thought about that? Have we ever thought about using that as a good job chip, as a fucking gold star?
In the time since Britt has lost the women's title, I've probably seen Charlotte win it back like 3 or 4 times.
And
There's no need.
I think you're lowballing. I
Yeah,
think you're
probably.
lowballing with it 3 or 4 times. But yeah, and I say this because I'm a giant fan of Ric Flair. You don't need 16 titles, 23 titles to make you the man. But keeping you in the title picture is a great thing. Sure, whatever. Gold is awesome. Yeah, the titles don't make the man makes the title, as the old saying is. And that was with her. She made that AEW Women's Championship. She made it the belt that, Nyla won it, and then Riho won it, and then it was bam, everybody pay attention because Dr. Britt Baker won it. It was hey, look at that. I just
and then
like I
Rosa
said,
won
I
it.
go
It's like,
back and
yeah,
forth.
this is great. And then it was this kind of sucks.
That's how it goes with everybody.
So finally, I don't think there's much point of us debating this one, but John Moxley defending the AEW World Title against MJF.
We love John. We love him. We hope he enjoys however long of a vacation they give
Oh,
him.
he's earned it.
You've earned it and then some, dude. Enjoy all the non-alcoholic beer. If I could send you a case, I would. Hang out on the beach. I know it's fucking cold as shit, so maybe not the beach. Hang out indoors, whatever. Go camping. Figure out what to do for fucking 8 weeks. Don't give him no 6 weeks. Give him 8 weeks off. Take fucking months off, bro. Relax, recoup, the whole nine. Don't even come on TV. Don't even cut a video promo on it. Just go enjoy your fucking self. You've absolutely deserved it. Let
Kick back and watch your wife
MJF
work.
take over. There you go. I'm gonna say, watch your wife work because she's awesome at her job. But let MJF do the thing. It's his time. He's undeniable. He's quite literally a fucking shooting star. It is the move to make. The question like I said, I brought to TikTok is he an immediate face? How long until he flips on us? Is he going to flip on us? That's the only questions I got.
I think he's gonna try, but he's just so fucking over. People are not gonna let him be a heel.
No, he could be the biggest douchebag asshole there is, and people will still love him. And they're still going to give him the face treatment. It's just what it is. It's just he will be undeniably a face until he decides he is going to change the narrative. And we all know he could do that at the flip of a switch.
Yeah. And we're gonna have a world champion with mad mic skills. I know Mox is very unique at promos. I think he just rolls with it.
Really does. To the point
Punk,
where he was stumbling and bumbling last night.
yeah, we can't say much about Punk because every time he won the title, he got injured. But we know
Like,
what Punk's like with a microphone.
I mean, yeah, he's really good.
Jericho, obviously a king on the microphone. Hangman left a lot to be desired, but MJF is a total fucking package. And when he's got the gold on his shoulder and a mic in his hand, he's a force of nature.
He is. Seriously, force of nature is 1,000% of a way to describe him, because you're right. He's something we haven't truly had in a while, and I say that because, and I'm being as nice as I can. The last time we had the total package of a champion, he went by the name of Kenny by God Omega, a guy who could talk, a guy who could have lots of charisma, who could put on bangers, who could do everything in between and then some. MJF is that guy without being on the wrestle level. He's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler, great wrestler, great wrestler. I'm not going to deny his wrestling abilities. He's not a Kenny Omega, but I will not deny his wrestling abilities. However, Kenny Omega is no MJF on the microphone.
No.
I'm about to say, if I got to make a comparison for one, we're flipping on the other, baby. As much as Kenny is one of the greatest wrestlers there's ever been, MJF is undeniably one of the greatest talkers there's ever been. And he's 23 fucking years old.
Yeah, even The Rock wasn't this good at 23.
Nope. No, it wasn't. Not Flex Cabana, not Rocky Maivia, not early days of The Rock and fucking Nation of Domination. No, sir.
Was he even in the tassels when he was 23?
No. He was still trying to play football. In the Canadian League.
I'm sure he was 20.
Unless he was Flex Cabana at the time.
I'm trying to remember Jim Ross's soundbite when Rock was walking into WrestleMania 15. JR was like, "This is a 20-year-old prodigy."
Probably 27, 28.
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, The Rock wasn't even probably in the WWE when he was 23.
Yeah, right. We really think about it. You're probably right.
And MJF's just on another stratosphere. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to enjoy Kenny Omega as world champion as a babyface, because he's a great heel and he's a very arrogant prick as a heel. But he's also the best bout machine, and we didn't really get a chance to be like fucking 5-star Kenny Omega world champion.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure within time we'll get it. We're in a new direction for this company, and that's exactly what it is. It's an entirely new direction, because we're leaning towards a mic-based guy who, again, we've just said that he's a great wrestler. I'm not denying his wrestling ability, but he is an excellent mic guy who's going to run the company, as opposed to Jon Moxley, who's going to get a guy who's going to put on bangers, as opposed to an Adam Page, who's a guy who's going to put on bangers. You don't think of the talking when you think of a Mox, when you think of a Kenny, when you think of past champions. You think of their wrestling ability. MJF, the number one thing you think about is his mic skills. So yeah, it's going to be one of those ones where it's like having a Rock again. This guy is going to garner nothing but attention every time he shows up, every time his music hits, whether he's wrestling or just talking.
Yeah,
preferably talking.
MJF could win the world title the same way we do, just by picking up a mic.
Absolutely, and I don't know anybody who would deny him that right. You know what I mean? He's that fucking good.
Yeah,
he just is.
That's Full Gear, all 11 matches.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know how long that took. It was like 45 minutes to predict the whole show.
Long enough. Shit.
Damn. So now I'm probably gonna go on a little bit of a rant for Tony, But I'm just gonna say this: fuck London.
Oh,
I get it. I know TK owns Fulham FC. Obviously, London is a natural choice.
right.
The problem
I
with
didn't
most
put
people,
those two together.
yeah. I don't think the problem is that he chose London. The problem is he only chose London.
Mm,
There's Manchester, there's Liverpool, there's Cardiff, there's Glasgow, there's all these other big cities that he could have done within like a week.
right.
And so everybody's saying, "Oh, London is easily accessible from anywhere in the UK." No, the fuck it isn't. it's
Unless it's coming from a dude in the UK. No, the fuck it's not.
it's a 4 to 5 hour drive from where I am. And that's dependent on traffic, and that's just one way. Um, and if you've never driven that long from one end of the UK to the other, you don't understand how much of an
Okay,
absolute
cool.
ball ache
Okay,
it is.
so 4 to 5 hours of travel. So let me put it into some U.S. perspective for y'all. If you live in Southern California, imagine going to Vegas for a show, for one show. Yeah, 5.5 hours going through Barstow, Bakersfield, having to go through fucking Reno. Imagine the drive through and into Vegas. Imagine having to find fucking parking and all that other shit in this supposed big ass city that is big ass busy city that is London. Okay, that's what my man's getting at. There's other spots. I mean, I understand as much as I can be that outsider. Just yes, it's easily accessible and all that other nonsensory. The fact of the matter is you said 5 hours of driving, homie. I'm not driving no motherfucking 5 hours.
And
I don't. I understand. I love AEW. Don't get me wrong. I do. 2.5 is good enough for me. Going to LA 2.5 hours, that's all right. 5?
and that's just to get there. There is absolutely nothing accessible about London traffic.
Oh God, I can
Half the
only
people in
imagine.
London don't want to drive around London.
Oh, that fucking sounds like New York out there.
And for those that don't drive, London train tickets and hotels are fucking expensive.
I
They'll
can.
cost you more than the event tickets will.
I would not be surprised, not in
So,
the least.
Tony, Tony, if you want to do your show in London, your main show in London, that's fine. But there's 67 million people in the UK, and a good chunk of them are wrestling fans. So if Tony wants to claim that AEW is bigger than WWE in the UK, then give us a chance to fucking prove it.
Right? Now's an
Oh,
opportunity.
and as for the poster, I don't see Regal, I don't see Pac, I don't see Saraya, I don't see Jamie Hayter. I'll accept Tony Storm because she made a name for herself in the UK, but you've got no British people on your poster, and it's your first UK show. Tony,
Tony, what you doing,
stop
Tony?
stop overbooking your pay-per-views and think for a minute.
Now you make me want to go back and look at the fucking LA poster. Is there some Mexicans on it? If there's not some Mexicans on it, I'm gonna get upset.
You know what? In that perspective, that's kind of a that's kind of beef to get carried away with.
Oh, no,
So
but I dig it though. You're going to London. Give me some London folk. God dang it.
first show in Mexico. I don't see no Mexicans on this
Where's the
poster.
goddamn Mexicans? Huh? Shit.
Uh, so let's cool down and go back a little further in time before we go on with what else has happened this week. It's this week in wrestling history. November 10th, 1997. We don't really touch on the mid 90s very much unless it's WCW, and it is WCW.
Beautiful.
After title changes at 2 back-to-back pay-per-views, Eddie Guerrero defeated Rey Mysterio on Nitro to reclaim the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, becoming a 2-time champion.
Always
On,
had bangers.
yeah, pretty much any classic Eddie Guerrero match usually involved Rey Mysterio.
And they were bangers.
Yeah, banger after banger after banger. November 11th, 1991, Ted DiBiase won the $1 Million Championship for his second and final time as he defeated Virgil. The title was deactivated for the first time a few months later.
Thank God.
Yeah, that title was active, deactivated, active. They only brought it back for a storyline, basically. Just to give DiBiase something to carry around. Or Virgil, or Cameron Grimes. Also on November 11th in 2012, Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship for the third and final time, defeating Low IQ at Power Struggle.
Good stuff.
Great show. I mean, also on the show, Shinsuke Nakamura defended the Intercontinental title against Carl Anderson, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defended the IWGP Heavyweight title against Yujiro Takahashi.
Okay, Yujiro. I got you, Yuji.
Nice show.
Not bad.
November 13th, 2005. One of the darkest days in pro wrestling modern history, as we lost the beloved Eddie Guerrero, hugely admired, widely considered to be one of the all-time greats, and still very much missed with his infectious Latino heat to this day.
Hell, the guy was he's so goddamn over. He's a pop culture icon. He's a pop culture icon.
So goddamn over 17 years later.
Mm-hmm. The people still do his move, still paying tribute to him. Hell, fucking Bandito is all the time.
Yeah, and I love how they're loosely referencing his infamous feud with Ray over Dominic's parentage right now.
Love that. Love it.
Of course, he was feuding with Batista over the world title at the time, and many reports have pretty much confirmed he was about to win the world title for the second time. Well, that title for the first time at Survivor Series.
Oy.
And I think Chavo quoted, I don't know when it was, but I saw the quote this past week, that he doesn't care what the drug is, pain pills are the worst.
Mm-hmm. That they are, man.
Moving on to slightly brighter things. November 13th, 2018 on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan defeated AJ Styles to win the WWE Championship, marking the beginning of his reign as the Planet's champion, later introducing the short-lived but very nice eco-friendly title design.
Shit was cool, man.
It was, and I don't even give a shit about eco-friendly, but I mean, I'm going to get headhunted for that one. But it was a nice-looking belt. It was burlap and wood.
Awesome.
Or should we say hemp and wood?
I was going to say it was hemp.
November 14th, 1999, Stone Cold Steve Austin was viciously run over by a car, later revealed to be driven by Rikishi. He did it for The Rock. Writing him off to receive neck surgery. In kayfabe, of course, it took Austin out of the main event and deprived us of the dream match that we never, ever got to see. Austin versus Rock versus Triple H. We were so close to seeing that, and it never happened. Three pillars of the Attitude Era.
Jesus Christ, man! What a match that would have been.
Right? How did they never do it? Even when Austin came back, they never did Austin Rock Triple H.
You know, Vince, he loves to move on.
Yeah, and they were active shortly around the same time when Austin came back. I know Triple H tore his quad in mid-2001, but there was a good few months there where they were all active. And we didn't do it.
Failing.
Now we're probably never going to see it. Well, we're not, because H is officially retired. Well, Austin, we don't know on that one.
They're having him come back. They really want him to come back. It looks like Hunter might never wrestle again, which is fine, you know, because of his heart. And then at this point, the only person I see The Rock wrestling is Roman.
Yeah. But Austin's definitely keeping in shape for something.
Yeah, I know. Can you not? Like, fuck, bro. Like, I'm 33 and you're like 57. You make me feel bad, dude. Jesus Christ.
In the match, Austin was replaced by Big Show, who went on to win the WWE title for the first time.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, so it was a nice moment. It was a bit of a silver lining for a dark cloud. I didn't know it was a storyline at the time, so I remember hating the shit out of whoever drove the car.
That's right. You were like, goddamn bastards. I don't care who. Like, I was remembering, I was like, oh, it had to be, who the fuck did I think it was originally? I originally thought it was like Deborah. Like, it was like, oh, his own wife's taking him out.
I remember a rumor shortly after that it was Billy Gunn, but I get it now because obviously DX and Billy's had blonde hair very similar to Rikishi. And shortly as we got towards the reveal, Mick Foley said there was some kind of DNA testing or whatever, and we know the driver was a large man. Well, that narrows it down, Mick.
My whole thing is like, you got a large man off a DNA test?
Yeah, I don't know how the hell they figured out it was a large man, and it took them a year to figure that out.
So they got the results back, and the results sheet just said large man. Haha, I know who it was. It was Vader.
It was Vader.
It was Vader.
More Survivor Series history. November 15th, 1998, at Survivor Series Deadly Game. The Rock, we were just talking about this, won his first WWE Championship in the tournament final, defeating Mankind as the corporation parodied the previous year's Montreal Screwjob.
Yep.
With The Rock turning heel. Rock obviously put him in a sharpshooter. Vince called for the bell.
Literally over my 9-year-old mind. I was like, hey, why'd they do that?
And then Mick was like, I don't remember tapping out or saying I quit. I don't get it.
I love how they spun it. They're great.
The brass balls on Vince to parody that storyline a year after the controversy was just...
Nobody
Damn.
but Vince, man.
Right. Nobody but Vince. In the process, of course, The Rock became the youngest world champion in WWE history at the time. This was also a nice little connection to history. This was also the same day in 1983 when Tony Atlas and The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson, won their first WWE Tag Team titles, defeating the Wild Samoans. And they also carried those titles during WWE breaking away from the NWA, so I guess that officially makes them the first ever tag team champions of the WWE era.
Cool. I would say so, yeah. Definitely makes them that.
Nice one day connects history between The Rock and his daddy.
There you go.
And final piece of history this week, November 16th, 2020. Drew McIntyre fixed the baffling decision to interrupt his dominant reign as WWE Champion when he reclaimed the title from Randy Orton on Raw. I still don't understand why they changed the title for like a couple of weeks.
Because reasons.
Just to increase Randy's title number, but...
Yeah, that was just literally for that exact reason. That's it. Just, here you go, Randy, we're helping pad your number. Oh, thanks, Wolf.
But you still haven't made him a 16-time champion, and he should have got there before Cena. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or at least, like, right after him.
Yeah.
This is Velvet Sky.
Hey, this is the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Hey, yo, what up? It's Darby Allin.
It's the Ultimate Vanessa, your girl's favorite wrestler.
Hey, Preston Dancer, aka number 10 of the Dark Order.
Hey, this is Tommy Tree.
Hey everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atute here.
This is the voice of Killer Cross.
And you're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
And you are currently listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
Max Wrestling Podcast.
And we're about to take it to the max.
We're about to take it to the max.
It's time to take it to the max.
We're gonna take it to the max!
Take it to the max.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madhouse.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. We're here every single Thursday. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, wherever it is you may be joining us. Still to come, this week's Geek of the Week, Best of the Week, and Shit Mark Say. But first, play along if you will. It's time to guess the wrestler.
I wonder who this could possibly be.
Guess the wrestler.
He's the bestler, better than all the wrestler.
Right off the bat, I got a lot of titles. Not all of them are mainstream, but I got a lot of titles.
I believe this.
Okay, let's kick it off. With a slightly less obscure one first. CZW World Junior Heavyweight Champion one time. Best of the Best X in 2011.
Okay.
A lot of slightly lesser known titles now. So Dreams Fighting Entertainment, DFE Openweight Champion. World Wrestling League Heavyweight Champion, Eastern Wrestling Alliance Cruiserweight Champion, Maryland Championship Wrestling Rage TV Champion 2 times. These are very obscure titles.
Yikes. This guy active?
Yes.
Oh, god damn. Okay.
PWG World Champion.
Bandito.
No.
No.
PCW Cruiserweight Champion. That's Preston City Wrestling.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, ooh, is that fucking Pacific Coast? Okay. No. Okay. Wrong piece.
Man.
Yeah.
Jesus. WXWC4 Hybrid Champion. Where the fuck are we getting these titles from?
I've heard of WXW, but I mean, fucking
somebody just went wild on Creative Championship.
Hey, that's fun. You have your fun.
I don't want to go to Ring of Honor yet because there's a few titles there.
Cruiserweight titles, and he was a PWG World Champ.
Yes.
Who else was PWG who was fucking did all that shit? Danny Garcia?
No. We also got Premier Wrestling Experience with an X Heavyweight Champion. New Horizon Pro Wrestling Art of Fighting Champion. He won the Battle of Gettysburg at Groundbreaking Wrestling. Let's find some more well-known titles now. So let's go to Ring of Honor. It's probably going to give it away, but let's go to Ring of Honor. TV champion, World Championship tournament winner, Survival of the Fittest winner, and a former world champion. I don't want to say how many times though.
I'm gonna say it. I had a bad feeling. I'm completely wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Jay Lethal.
No.
Oh, good, because I was like, I don't remember him being in PWG at all, but I was just like, if he was, god damn it.
All right, let's take a look at some awards. Wrestling Observer Rookie of the Year in 2010, Feud of the Year in Wrestling Observer and CBS Sports in 2019, also Match of the Year in CBS Sports in 2019, and Wrestler of the Year.
Damn, yeah, Match and Wrestler of the Year, but he's winning bid card titles on the Indies, but he's a former PWG champ and Ring of Honor champ. Adam Cole.
Yeah, I didn't even need to go to the WWE titles. Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole. See, that's my whole thing. I was like, my whole thing is you want to know what it was. If you're looking on your titles, how many are there from out of Florida? Does it mention any Florida championships? Any no? Okay. No. That was my thing. I was trying to think because I know for a fact he's won a bunch of the mids, but mainly in the Florida area. But just, I was like, PWG champ. I remember that. I was like, yeah. I'm about to say, I'm glad you didn't say how many time Ring of Honor world champ, because the second you say 3, literally goes down to about 3 people. So, okay. But no, that's okay. Adam Cole, not bad.
And then, of course, WWE titles, NXT champion, North American champion, NXT Tag Team champion, Dusty Rhodes Classic in 2018. Obviously, no main roster titles.
No, that's because they suck.
What else did he win? Bumpy Award?
Bumpy Award? Why does that sound familiar?
I'm assuming that was a dumb slammy.
I mean, it has to be.
NXT Year-End Awards, he won 7.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's right, yeah. I remember.
And also on his titles, he won Big Top Tag Team titles with Britt at Wrestle Circus.
Cool.
And I also missed Real Championship Wrestling, where he won the Cruiserweight title and Tag Team titles with Devon Moore. However. It's confusing because that's Devon, but then Devon spells it with an E and it's still Devon.
Yep. Bastard.
Okay, in other news, I mean, we've pretty much run over most of the show with AEW Full Gear, but let's talk about Austin Theory, because they pretty much did exactly what we said they should do last week. Reinvent him right off the bat, and they did. And I think he won a lot of people over.
He's garnered my attention. All I know is, again, one of these things where I seen some clips, and I'm like, what happened here? And I went to investigating, and somebody's listening.
Mm-hmm.
That or this was the plan all along, but I'm going to go with they were listening.
Yeah, they were listening. They were one of the 18 whatever thousand we had last week.
Hey, there you go.
But people were starting to chant, "This is awesome" during Fury's match. And then by the end of it, because he went batshit crazy on Dolph, they started booing him again.
Well, hey, I mean that was I think what was gonna happen. I think it's slowly gonna be like a love thing. He's probably gonna go nuts all the time, but people are going to eventually love him for it. I'm not gonna say I am. I'm glad they reinvented him. I'm gonna let this play out, see where it goes, see how far this reinvention truly is, and go from there. But I mean, good for him. I'm glad they pulled the trigger. Let's make it mean something.
Yeah. And his promo backstage was great. Easily the best promo he's ever cut. It was full of fire and passion. I love it.
Austin Theory was a super hot name coming into NXT when he did.
And he also addressed the running gag that he was never going to be able to successfully cash in on Roman, so fuck it. He went for the US title, which, fair enough. Hey, at least he's honest about it.
Right, make your jokes, man, because you are honest.
But he had a good point. He was like, who was there when I went to cash in on Roman? The Bloodline. Who was there when I tried to cash in at Clash at the Castle? Fucking Gypsy King.
The Gypsy. Oh yeah, fucking goddamn Tyson Fury. That bastard.
So yeah, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm keeping a close eye on Austin Theory and enjoying this developments.
Nice. Good for him.
Also in WWE this week, we saw the in-ring re-debut of Mia Yim, as Reckoning. She did good. She was pretty much on and off the screen all night with the whole ongoing feud with all the women, basically. She very much had a presence.
Mia Yim has garnered great attention. I'm glad she's out of the faction, the stupid mask thing, the whole whatever. I'm just like, wow, good for her. I mean, she's back. Sarah Logan's back. Fuck, who else is gonna show up?
I mean, there's one spot left, I think, if they're gonna do 5-on-5. So I'm not sure how healthy Becky is, but I mean, she would obviously be a big pop to come back to finish the team.
Huge pop.
But that's gotta happen next week.
Hey,
and they go home.
Right. It looks like Papa H ain't tripping about pulling the trigger week of kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you could do it with Theory, if she's healthy enough, you can do it with Becky.
Yeah. Is it 5? I'm pretty sure it is.
But yeah, Survivor Series are always 5-on-5. Unless they change the rules on me.
Yeah, there's still a TBD on the face team. Damage Control is complete. We got all 3 of them, plus Nikki, plus Rhea Ripley. So yeah, we just need one more for Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, and Mia Yim to team up with. So it's got to be Becky.
Got to be Becky. Watch it be Charlotte.
Oh man.
Right? Oh my god, shit.
I went from super excited to for fuck's sake.
She'll be like, all right, well, I guess I'm not watching this match. See you later.
And as far as the men's War Games matches, that's completely TBD versus TBD. We don't know any of that yet. And there's only like a week to go.
Build it the day before. There we go. Build it on the pre-show. I'm just kidding.
That's going to be a fast build. Come on, H.
It's slacking, Jack. You're slacking.
Other than that, we got 2 singles matches. Ronda and Shotzi for the women's title and AJ versus Finn.
Hey, okay. AJ and Finn. I'm going to like that one.
If anything, I mean, they could have done a traditional Survivor Series match with that because we got the OC and the Judgment Day, but whatever. I mean, I guess you got 2 War Games matches. It's going to take up a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of time.
Either way, I'm looking forward to Survivor Series too. It's nice.
It is nice, right? To finally turn around and say like, oh no, man, we got pay-per-view, good pay-per-view to watch, good pay-per-view to watch. And it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. We got to stop with the narrative shit.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just like wrestling.
Survivor Series has always kind of been the runt of the litter with WWE's Big 4 pay-per-views too, because you got Royal Rumble, obviously huge, WrestleMania, biggest show of the year, SummerSlam's always huge. Then you get to Survivor Series and it's like, it's Raw versus SmackDown again, but it's not this year. It's
not.
War Games.
War Games.
Thank you, Papa H.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I guess there's 5 big pay-per-views now if you actually do want to count Money in the Bank, but apparently Triple H is scrapping that next year. Again, thank you, Papa H.
Appreciate it.
Put it
Make the
back on
match mean
WrestleMania.
something. Yeah, exactly. Make the match mean something. Fuck the pay-per-view.
Yeah. All right. Again, we're just shooting through other news this week, so that's pretty much it. Let's go. Full Gear took up so much time because TK booked 11 goddamn
11
matches.
goddamn matches. Son of a bitch, bro.
So let's find out who is this week's geek.
Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-cut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek.
All right, you ready, guys, for the first time ever? This is ready for some history. This week's Geek of the Week is me. Why me? Because I fucking marked out like a fucking goddamn 7-year-old at a fucking candy store because of fucking Captain Insano. Captain Insano. He shows no mercy. I popped so hard for a guy I've shat on for fucking 20-something years. Okay, I'm like, I was scrolling through all of wrestling this week. Who put their foot in their mouth? Who said something stupid? Who did nothing? Nobody. It was shockingly a good week for people. Surprisingly, it was one of those moments. So in order to, I guess, have a nice stable week, I will gladly crown myself as a geek for marking the fuck out for the goddamn Big Show, aka Paul White. So, and for those who did too, you too this week are honorary geeks. Wear the crown proudly.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Shows no mercy.
I noticed you sweat a lot when you are resting. Or opening up a can of whoop ass, as you would say.
I use the services of an experienced water boy. Did you say Chad don't like that movie?
Yeah, I was just about to say, how can you believe
Chad.
Chad hates this movie?
You
How old
suck.
are you, kid? 10? 12? I'm 35 years old, sir.
I guarantee he's a virgin. Oh, fuck. How do you hate that movie? Come on. You got no funny bones in you.
It's Adam Sandler. You're not supposed to take it seriously.
You take Adam Sandler seriously?
I mean, Uncut Gems, maybe.
I was going to say, like, that's the only one. Well, what's the other one?
Yeah, he did another one on Netflix where he played it straight.
No. Not the Netflix one. What was it was like that super serious one that had come out. Had a bunch of stars in it. It was like he was basically talking about his life as a stand-up comedian. He was basically shitting on his own life. I forgot the name of the movie right now. Fucking shit.
Ooh, wait a minute.
The
one I'm thinking of?
Something friend. I want to say something friends. I forget. But he's like somebody works with him to become a writer, and he's writing jokes for him. And he's just like, he also has like cancer or whatever. You know, I gotta fucking look this shit up real quick. But no, that was the only other movie I've ever seen of Adam Sandler where he was serious.
There's also Reign Over Me, which I haven't seen, but I know it's serious drama. But anyway, we're getting into Adam Sandler.
I'm about to say, we're getting into the wrong kind of territory. We'll go all fucking day, man.
Because you gotta respect Adam Sandler.
You should. I don't understand why you wouldn't. He was great. Come on now. He's a fucking generational actor for us, for crying out loud.
Oh man, I didn't watch Hubie Halloween this year. Shit.
You're failing me.
That became a tradition 2 years ago.
It's called Funny People. Now I found it. Funny People.
All right, let's move on to the Bestler of the Week. It was very easy for me this week, and I don't think I could have made another choice. We just talked about him reinventing himself after such a big downfall. Stupid booking, which I guess now kind of makes sense. So to recover from that and also have a great match and completely change the way people look at you has to go to Austin Theory.
Wow. Literally from the
now.
geek to the bestler.
Yeah, literally.
I don't think we've ever had one.
I'm sure. I think we've done the other way around.
Somebody who's the bestler from the geek, and not vice versa from the geek to the bestler. Because that's, I mean, hey, if that's the first time of all the goddamn people to be first time, Austin Theory. Because I'm with you. I remember having some guys that were bestler that all of a sudden turned into the geek, but I don't remember vice versa.
Yeah, it may have been Sammy Guevara.
Nice.
I'm sure. No, maybe we haven't.
Nice.
I mean, there's been some flippy floppies, but not like back-to-back weeks. Nope, first time.
Let's go. Good for you, Austin.
Yeah, that's how you bounce back.
Checking all the boxes.
Yeah, and the boxes I'm checking right now is Joe Gacy, Von Wagner.
Lots of Von Wagner.
Oh man, Geek of the Year is going to be fun at the Maxis.
I can imagine.
But with that being said, we are 2 weeks away from Promo Series 7, Rise and Storm. And 2 weeks? No, we're 1 week. It's next week.
1 week, baby.
Next week is Promo Series 7, Rise and Storm. I got confused because Survivor Series is still like a fucking week and a half away.
Yeah.
We're going to be predicting Survivor Series War Games. We're also going to crown the group MVP. Whether or not it's still going to be Travis remains to be seen. There has been a little more traffic from other people this past 28 days-ish. But also on the action side of things, this show is loaded with the winner stays on gauntlet for the Knowledge Championship as the Phoenix puts it all on the line in the name of tradition against Beer, Key Killer, and your very own captain.
The line, the line is stacked against my man Phoenix. Man, each and every week I've been shitting on him, but you know what? He just might pull out the unstoppable, the unbeatable, the undeniable moves that he can because he's that damn good. Can Phoenix do it all, or is he just human?
I mean, he has become the undisputed king of trivia since Mike retired.
That's true. That's true. He is the new freaking trivia machine.
And of course, if he does make it past Beer and Kinney, we don't know how well I'm going to do in trivia because it's not something I do.
Nope. Well, we'll see.
I don't compete for the knowledge titles. First time ever. Also, speaking of Mike, he will be back to go one-on-one with DC Daniel Crimmins in a promo exhibition. It is, of course, a rematch from the Promo Slam 2020 pre-launch show. But Mike wanted to come back. He wanted to talk some shit, and DC stepped up to defend the turf. Thank you, DC.
Appreciate you. That's the gimmick right now. That's the question at hand. Are they going to bring their A game? Are they going to show up for real and put it on the line? Mike Larkin, you've been called out. DC, don't back down. Let's see how this goes.
And don't forget, Mike, you have a 6-minute time limit while DC has 8 minutes. Restrictions because we got a lot to get through because there's also a TV triathlon for the television championship as Moses defends that beautiful belt against Cypher. First stage and the third stage will be promo. The middle stage will be trivia.
To say that I am confident in my television title defense would be an absolute understatement. I'm walking in knowing I could beat a man not only in promos but in trivias. Ladies and gentlemen, my feet will be up for this one.
Oh, Cypher, I hope you bring in that fire with you. And yeah, let's just bring all the gold to the jury. In the main event, of course, it is a triple threat cinematic battle royale. As Travis gets one more shot against my Max Wrestling World Championship, historic, longest reigning World Championship. And of course, also on the field is the lawyer, Chad Malcolm.
Gold is on the line. All the fucking rules are by the sides. Lawyers by the side. We will see how this thing goes. I can only see it in one way. It's not as shiny as you think.
I'll give it to Chad. So he can shine it up for me.
There you go.
All this and more next week. Please do not miss it because I guarantee you it's going to be a show to remember. For more information, go to matchwrestling.net/promo series 7.
We're playing with yourself. Get in there, Sam.
And now, for stupid shit people say online, it's shit Mark say.
You guys pissed me the fuck off.
OMG, Kevin Nash.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Tell me you did not just say that.
WTF, thought he was dead, LOL.
Names have been changed to protect their stupidity. Okay, who's not been Uzi on TikTok?
The Uzi vibe on TikTok has gone just downhill. I swear to Lord, these people went from the Uziest to like nobody was. It was at the everybody's nice and everybody's. And again, I told you I released the dark side, or maybe it's my own fault. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm the negative one. Not gonna attack anybody in particular because I want to attack the entire wrestling community this week. I want to attack them because it's not simply because of what they say. It's because of simply how they are. And I think it is time to change the narrative. It's something that wants to be happening. Something's going around. Companies are getting good again. Companies are being watchable. We don't need to crap on the E because it's worth watching. We don't need to shit on AEW because it's worth watching. And you can go down the list, Impact, hell, even MLW, you know, I wouldn't say NWA, but that's for a different story. So pretty much what I'm getting at is the wrestling community, we need to stop. We need to stop being so goddamn negative towards what we like. We understand that everybody's going to be different, and they're all going to have different minds and different booking decisions and the whole everything. This narrative that AEW is worse than WWE or Impact is worse than AEW and da-da-da-da-da because of injuries or because of that or because of this. The last time I checked, all these injuries that went down with AEW, turn around and look at WWE, there's a lot of injuries on that side too. So it's not an unsafe working environment. It's the fact that professional wrestling is not ballet. It is hard. It is rough. It is tough. It means you are going to get hurt. You're going to take bumps, literally, and you're going to get bruises. So for this week, the marks are us, and we need to fix us. We need to stop the narrative, stop the side-by-siding. You can have a favorite company, you can side with your company, but just like wrestling in general.
And as for me, first up this week, we have Anonymous Chris. Your name is Chris.
Twitter never fails.
So somebody tweeted, remember when Logan Paul laughingly filmed the guy who killed himself? Anyway, WWE's giving him flowers right now in the blood money country. That's another story. The response was... and we've lost Moses.
I'm fucking dead.
Would you believe that's not even the shit Max Safe tweet this week?
No, actually, I was like, that's a great one.
That's just the OP. The reply is the shit Max say. The reply was, remember when AEW mocked Shad Gaspard's death by having a mock drowning? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Somebody asked him to, explain. He says, Shad lost his life saving his kid drowning in the ocean, and around the same time, AEW had MJF thrown in a pool and made to mock a drowning person. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, also had a match where they drowned Matt Hardy, just a bit sus. Now, the episode in question, where MJF got thrown in a pool and splashed around on Jericho's cruise, aired 4 months before Shad died.
I was about to say that was the cruise. Okay.
So I had nothing to do with
that
it.
wasn't before Shad. So, I mean, that was before Shad. So, okay.
So you couldn't have been outraged at the time because it hadn't happened yet. You fucking idiot. And as for Matt Hardy, that did happen relatively soon after, but I think it was pre-recorded. And it was planned before anything happened with Shad. And also, it was kind of Matt's gimmick to do the whole Lake of Reincarnation thing.
Exactly.
So, Chris.
Okay, well, I got one I want to throw in there because I think this happened around the same time. Didn't Akira Tozawa randomly die in the water around the same time when they were doing the ninja thing?
Yeah. Oh man, 2020 was awful.
Fucking brutal. In the bin.
Get in the bin, Chris. And I don't actually have another mark this week. I've got more wise wisdom from anonymous Chris. Chris, still not anonymous. This time I'm just gonna read a conversation between him and somebody else. He's beefing with Douglas, and man, this conversation should give you an insight into anonymous Chris's reading level. So Doug, then Chris, then Doug, then Chris. Doug begins with, "How am I mad? I thought we were conversing on Twitter. So why even try come at me in the first place? You're hella mad. Stay mad, Cupcake." Doug, "You engaged with my post. Personal problem. You're talking to me, not the other way around." Chris, "You came at me." Doug, "Gay." Also Doug. Also Doug. Cupcake. Chris.
This is circa 1999. Gay.
Chris.
Fuck.
"You are? I always knew it." Doug, "Too late to steal my own means of defense now. You've exposed your gayest side." Chris, "Just admit you're gay, bro. It's okay." Doug, projecting again. Chris, "You're so far in the back of the closet, bro. You found Narnia. Come out. It's 2022. Doug, "That was a wardrobe, not a closet."
It's the same thing.
There's more. Chris closed the conversation with, "Don't really care, bro."
I like this Chris fella. I like him. He's cool.
That whole conversation stemmed from that first tweet.
Of course it did, because people on Twitter are fucking stupid.
Oh man, Chris, get in the bin and fucking stay there.
Please and thank you.
And Doug, you can get in the bin too, because
right, fucking A, right, you can.
It's 2022. You don't win an internet conversation with just calling somebody gay.
Again, not 1999, dude. It's gay.
No. They are marks, and that's the shit they say.
It's gay.
Man. All right, we're going to get the A to B of Retro Rewind in just a sec. So thank you for spending your Thursday with us. Here's the socials again. You can find us on the evil Twitter machine at Max Wrestling UK, at the Captain512, and at SMRPodNet. Check out the website at maxwrestling.net, and don't forget to hit the sub or the follow button on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all the socials. Now, for the A to B of the Retro Rewind. So listen up, you pencil neck geeks, because this is what Moses has for you this week.
SMR Podcast Network. You should be listening.
That's right. Well, hold on the retro for right now. Make sure you're following Match Wrestling on the TikTok. We're still on our way to 1,200 and above. Make sure you're getting it. I've been posting some stuff on there recently as of the AEW from last night, and it's going to be going on through this week. As of right now, Retro is going to take the week off because we got Full Gear coming out, and then it's probably going to take a second week off for Survivor Series. What I mean by that is I will be doing live stream for Full Gear. We will be on Twitch, twitch.tv/BigMo2425. Probably going to change that name here shortly. And then quite possibly, not too sure what you guys, I mean, you guys were already talking about doing a stream for Survivor Series, so maybe we'll throw that guy up on Twitch as well, and we could be joined by the whole crew. See how that thing goes. And if these guys are interested, maybe we'll fucking jabber on it right afterwards, give a quick little review podcast, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm just going to give Retro the hiatus because of a busy couple of weekends. I want to cover them live. I want to get interactive with people because here's the great news. Starting December, I want to give an exact date here, so I want to be nice and super smart. Starting December the 9th, Friday, December the 9th, I will be streaming weekly. Once a week, probably 2 times a week. It's going to start at once a week right now. It's going to be Friday nights. I will be streaming Friday nights pretty much during the hours of Rampage. Sorry. But we will be watching Rampage for the first hour and then playing some video games. Probably going to be some Call of Duty, maybe something like for the more boring people out there in my CS field, some PC Builder Simulator, and some whatever stuff in between. So we'll see. We'll go from there. So again, Retro off for a couple weeks. Make sure you're following twitch.tv/BigMo2425, and we'll catch you on the weekend.
All right. And speaking of, I want to give you guys an exact date too for Max Wrestling Reloaded. The first episode, which will be the reproduced episode of the first ever episode of Max Wrestling, will air on my birthday, December 5th. And hopefully on Mondays going forward.
Let's go.
I'm not necessarily going to re-edit and reproduce every single Max episode in order. I might skip a couple here and there, but it's going to be the best episodes. But I got to start with the beginning.
They always got to start with the beginning.
And with that said, join us next week for, I don't need to say it again, Promo Series 7 Rising Storm. Next week, return of the Winner Stays On Gauntlet for the Knowledge title, DC versus Mike Larkin, Cypher versus Moses in the first ever TV triathlon, and an absolutely unmissable triple threat cinematic match for the world title. Do not miss Promo Series next week. You've been watching the Kappa Mo. Goodbye. And good night. Bang.
Don't miss next week. You're about to see me win a triathlon without putting my feet on the ground.
You have one unheard message sent yesterday at 7:15 p.m.
Hey, Corey. It's Captain. Just checking you're okay. Haven't heard from you for a few weeks now, since, Travis sent that video of you outside his house and stuff, but, whatever. So yeah, just checking that you're okay. Wanted to wish you luck in your TV title match next week. So, get in touch when you can. We got some jury business to take care of, dude. Talk to you soon.
Message deleted.
Max Wrestling has only one captain. Well, here we go. 1 week to go before Promo Series 7 Rising Storm. 1 week before Travis Walker Anderson gets his final shot at the World Championship. And you can ask, where is the World Championship? It's not over my shoulder right now. Well, don't worry about that. My lawyer is shining it up for next week. I mean, wouldn't want to show up with a dirty looking title now, would we? But Travis Walker Anderson, it's dawned on me that it's ironic, really, that you're going for my world title one last time at Promo Series, the very same event where the Promo Championship was born in 2018. And what happened to that Promo Championship? You were the last person to hold it, and now it's defunct. Now it's gone. Now it's dead. And I'll be damned if you do the same thing to the World Championship. See, Travis, I've already beat you once this year. Promo Slam, and yeah, I beat you by forfeit. And I can't believe I'm about to quote this stupid fucking franchise, but it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. So Promo Series, you better bring more than you brought at Promo Slam. Because this captain is not going down with this ship. At Promo Series Rising Storm, I'm bringing the storm. I've weathered the storm. I'm riding straight through the storm. So when you step on my land, just remember one thing. House of Ashes was built on the foundations that I laid. It's time to face your jury. And Mo, don't you forget either, because Cypher's coming for your TV title. See you both next week.